Hello everybody, this is Marcus again, and today we will battle a random opponent on BattleSpot. The team I'll be using consists of Shukaberry Heatran, Pixie Blade Sylveon, Landorus T with Assault Vest, Mega Kangaskhan, Substitute Leftovers Aegislash, and Thundurus. Those 6 have been used in the past, for example by Tony, the 2014 Japanese national champion that got to the top 4 of the Pokemon World Championships this year, using the same 6. I'm not exactly using his team, though most of the sets are pretty similar to what he was using. We find a Japanese player that has a pretty standard team. I've seen those 6 in the past together, for example being used by Dufflo, my fellow German player. And yeah, it's a pretty standardish team, double Mega option with Mega Kangaskhan and Mega Guardy, most likely, and then double Genies, Thundurus and Landorus with Amoonguss as support and Heatran as Fire and Steel type. So, I have to try to counter both Mega Pokemon, and Aegislash just does a fantastic job against both of them, so I'm pretty sure I will bring it here. My Thundurus is a set with Hidden Power Ice, Protect, T-Wave and T-Bolt that outspeeds Assault with Landorus, so I think that could be a good choice to lead it and maybe scare him away from using Trick Room, expecting a taunt if his Guardy even has it. So leading Thundurus looks nice here, but I also need to cover the Amoonguss somehow. Heatran and Aegislash both do a good job as long as they have a substitute up or can set up on it. So I think I'll go with Aegislash, Landorus, and Kangaskhan as the remaining 4, benching Heatran out for this one. Heatran would be a good choice, but I don't know, I think I really need Landorus and Aegislash to deal with his Kangaskhan more. So I could lead with Landorus and Aegislash. Oh, you know what, I think I'll just lead with Aegislash and Thundurus and have my Landorus T and Kangaskhan in the back. So let's see what he'll do. By the way, yesterday we didn't have any video, but I started working on my 2015 Nationals team reports, and I think I'll be doing videos on that if I find the time at some point. And while we're talking about like stuff that happens, congratulations to my friends Joseph Richardson and Till Böhmer, who both won a regional on Saturday and Sunday in London and Copenhagen respectively. So yeah, I've been working with both of those, and they're nice guys, strong trainers, and had a pretty good team. Okay, so my opponent here leads with Heatran and Landorus. Fortunately, the Intimidate doesn't do anything, as I lead with 2 special attackers, and I do have the chance to go for a surprise Hidden Power Ice. However, my Aegislash is it's not really in a great position, is what I'm trying to say, as both Heatran and Landorus threaten it with Heat Wave and Knockoff respectively. So I think I want to King Shield Aegislash, and Thundurus needs to go for some attack, though it really depends on what I expect my opponent to do here. I could Thunder Wave his Heatran. Could also switch into my Landorus if I really wanted to. I think I want to threaten out his Lando, so I'll just Hidden Power Ice. And we don't see a Protect or a switch. However, he could still be Joy Scarf and go for a U-turn. However, it looks like he's Joy Scarfed and goes for a Knockoff. Okay. Knocks off my Citrus Berry here, but I'll get off some nice damage. And Fire Blast from the Heatran. Nice predict on my opponent's end, taking out my Thundurus most likely, and yep, there it goes. However, it's been confirmed that he is Joy Scarf to me, so I could go into my Landorus, and now it's up to prediction. I could either switch out my Aegislash into Kangaskhan, expecting the incoming knockoff, or stay in expecting him to knock off my Landorus. Good play by my opponent here, definitely. Predicting my King Shield and just doubling up on Thundurus, definitely nice play. Didn't expect the Landorus to be Scarf though, with knockoff even, so that is pretty threatening. Mm-hmm. He could also go for knockoff on my Lando and Heatwave with his Heatran, if he even has it. Fire Blast also a pretty interesting move choice, by the way. Could go for Superpower, but that won't knock it out most likely. Could also just go for a Rock Slide here. Yeah, I think that's what I'll do. And I'll just have to hope that he... Okay, he switches out, doesn't want to deal with my Landorus here, and goes into his Amoonguss. However, with me switching out my Aegislash into Kangaskhan, that's not exactly the switch you want to see. So, yeah. And he just protects. Okay, so my Rock Slide doesn't really do much, but at least some chip damage on his Amoonguss. And right now I feel like I have to go for the double target on his Amoonguss. However, he could very easily switch his Heatran into Lando for the Intimidate. But let's see. Maybe he decides against it for some reason. Yeah, I'm not really in a fantastic position. His Heatran well protected right here by his Amoonguss, and then there's Lando in the back as well. That's a pretty good core. Landorus, Heatran, and Amoonguss, and I mean, it's been talked about like several times how good they are together, and then you have Kangaskhan too, so, that is helping them, and they help Kangaskhan, so yeah, probably the best core right now at VGC. And yeah, he switches back his Heatran and goes into what looks like Landorus T. Oh, there it is. Yeah, maybe I should have gone for the fake out instead of a return, but we'll see. So knockoff comes first, which means that I knock off the Rocky Helmet and won't take too much damage with my Kangaskhan. And there's the return. Oh, getting the critical hit, but not enough to knock it out. And it uses Spore on Kangaskhan probably. No, on Landorus, okay. So I could Sucker Punch the Landorus if I really wanted to. Or I could try and finish off his Amoonguss. Though he might switch out, because of Regenerator, he'd regenerate some health. However, Amoonguss is pretty much dead weight at this point, as it's so low on health, and yeah, it doesn't have the Rocky Helmet anymore. But as we know that his Landorus Choice Scarf, he has to lock into a move right now, so I think I want to call back my Kangaskhan, go into Aegislash, and hope that he goes for a Superpower. However, he predicts that and goes for the knockoff on Lando. Yeah, good play. And also the Spore on Aegislash, I guess, which is what he does. Yeah. So, well played by my opponent here. And there's not really much I can do at this point. I mean, I have to hope that I wake up with Landorus and get the double knockout right here. Oh, but he actually switches out his Lando and goes into Heatran again. But maybe if I can wake up here, but I'm still asleep. Yeah, Giga Drain won't do much at this point, but okay. And now I basically have to hope that I wake up with both Pokemon. I think he might switch out Amoonguss into his Landorus though, which is annoying. Oh, but he just protects. Okay, so if I wake up and can get a flinch on here on the Heatran and then wake up with Aegislash, we could come back into this game. But he just goes for the Heat Wave. Landorus avoids it though, which is kinda nice. And Aegislash also wakes up and goes for the substitute. Okay, so maybe we're still in this somehow. Flinch here really would have been ideal, but okay, got the avoid, I take it, and the wake-ups. So I could go for King Shield and Earthquake right here. Or I could go for Shadow Ball on the Heatran and Rock Slide. Decisions. I think... Okay, in 1v1 I can beat his Kangaskhan that I'm expecting to be his last one, so I just need to knock out his Heatran and then like Sucker Punch his Landorus with my Kangaskhan and then Aegislash just wins. So that is basically my plan right here. So I really can't afford to lose Aegislash. Okay, calls back Amoonguss and goes into Landorus, which is fine because I went for the Rock Slide instead of the Earthquake play. And he protects. Okay, so this is great because if Rock Slide connects, which it does, okay, so now his Lander is knocked out, and I only need to take care of his Heatran, and then Aegislash could wrap up this game. I also went for the Shadow Ball. Yeah, Rock Slide was also there. I mean, I could have flinched his Heatran, for example, but he went for Protect. Yeah, he truly expected me to go for a King Shoot and Earthquake, and it would have been a good play too, so yeah, not really a mistake by my opponent by any means, I guess. Really tactical and positional game at this point. I mean, Heatran is basically the only thing that stops my Aegislash right now, so that's definitely my win condition. And I do have my Kangaskhan in the back. However, I need to be careful about his Kangaskhan, and I don't know. Like he can, I mean, he can still like sucker punch me and so on. So, but good that we kept our leftovers and he didn't go for a knockoff on my Aegislash. So, what could he do? He could go in Amoonguss, but then I think, oh, and it's actually Guardy and not Kangaskhan at all. Yeah, obviously tracing the Intimidate as you can trace stance change. So, okay. Did not expect that. But I think I basically have to go for King Shield Earthquake right now. I mean, of course, Hyper Voice would hit through the sub and KO my Aegislash. And yeah, good play switching out into the Amoonguss, because he also knows that he needs Heatran to deal with my Aegislash. Okay, so let's hope that this is not Trick Room Mega Guardy, because that would be pretty bad. Because then, yeah, he'd have the speed advantage, and I'd need to like fake out his Amoonguss, and he could protect, and then he could put Kangaskhan to sleep, and so on. So then it would really be Aegislash against the world. Yeah, so after the Intimidate and so on, EQ really not doing much, and Lando gets knocked out by Hyper Voice. Okay, so no Trick Room, which is good. I should be able to tank Hyper Voice at this point, being in shield form and so on, so I could just fake out his, or return is probably better, return his Amoonguss and Shadow Ball the Guardy. Or I could Shadow Ball the Amoonguss and return Guardy, which is probably the better play, as Shadow Ball should be enough to knock the Amoonguss out. I think I should have this game. but let's see. Okay, he protects Mungus, which is good. As long as I outspeed his Guardy. Oh, but he's faster. But Aegislash can tank it, and return should not hurt his Guardy. Okay, so we're down in 2v2, and all goes back to that Heatwave miss on Landorus, probably. And yeah, like that I got the wake-ups when I really needed them. So a few turns ago I thought I was in a very bad position, but it looks like we might be able to take this game still. However, he does have Fire Blast on his Heatran, which was revealed earlier, so he should be able to have a way to pick up my Kangaskhan. So if he gets the double protect right here, he can still win. Though he could also go for the Rage Powder, predicting me to predict his double protect and go for a low kick on his Heatran with my Kangaskhan. Yeah, this is still tough. Okay, his move is either Rage Powders or protects. But if I go for low kick and he goes for the Rage Powder, then I lose. So okay, he goes for the Rage Powder, which is great, and this should mean that I have this game. The return takes out Amoonguss, and then Aegislash behind the sub beats the Heatran. Nice. He goes for the Heat Wave, and I think my Kangaskhan should be able to take that. Which it does. Substitute feints, but that's no problem. And whoo, what a game! Yeah, his turn 1 definitely caught me off guard. Choice Scarf knockoff Landorus is not something you see every day. But yeah, we were able to climb back, I guess. Yes, GG, nice. So, really cool game. I hope you enjoyed it as well. And what else is there to say about this? I didn't expect him to have Guardy, to be honest. And if he had Kangaskhan, then it probably would have been a little bit closer, because depending on how fast his Kangaskhan was, he could have outsped mine. And then low kick obviously does a lot of damage, and yeah. But worked out, and really showed that substitute Aegislash is really not something you should forget about. Still a pretty great set, I can definitely recommend. And yeah, that's it for this video. I might just stick to like one video per episode on BattleSpot and just like play more and upload more videos if I feel like it. But yeah, let me know in the comments what you thought about this video, and see you next time.